A strange epidemic of blindness occurred in Japan today as lawyers across the country suddenly found their irises replaced with cartoony yen symbols. At least that's what I assume happened now that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have finally filed a lawsuit against Pocketpair, the Japanese indie studio behind Palworld. However, the reason why the companies are suing is a bit surprising. A statement from Nintendo points out that they are suing not for copyright infringement, but for patent infringement. As lawyer Richard Hoeg points out, copyright would cover art, so it seems the company doesn't think Palworld's pals look too similar to Pokemon's Pokemon. No, they're suing over patents, which would seem to suggest Nintendo thinks that Palworld as a game functions too much like Pokemon, something Hoeg considers a reach with the limited information he has.
Is it because of maybe all the guns and the slavery?
No one currently knows exactly what the lawsuit is about, except presumably Nintendo and their standing army of lawyers. Pocketpair's statement seems to imply they're going to fight this, but that may be difficult according to analyst Sirkin Toto.
And he blessed the rains down in Africa.
Toto told Games Radar that Nintendo probably wouldn't have filed this suit if they didn't have a strong case. That's generally what people do. Nintendo received a settlement just 3 years ago from a similar patent lawsuit. This case may go the same way, but fortunately for Pocketpair, which I have as well, the company apparently has too much money due to Palworld's success. So really it's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win-win if you include the lawyers.
What happens to us?
We get to watch.
Sony has apparently decided to remaster another game. But to let you down easy, it's not Bloodborne. Instead, it's Horizon Zero Dawn, according to a leaked rating from the ESRB. Now, sure, Horizon launched for PS4 in 2017, the year I joined this company, and then was ported to PC in 2020, the year I wore a mask at this company, and is therefore barely old enough to hold an interesting conversation. But this leak may be a sign of better announcements from Sony. In response to the news, insider Jeff Grubb shared his belief that Sony will have a state of play next week on September 24th, the day before my birthday, and that may be where the Horizon remaster is unveiled.
Does every date have to be about you, James?
Grubb also said there would be an even less exciting remaster also likely to be announced next week, but another source says that there may be bigger news. Victor Molino, alleged leaker and confirmed Brazilian, has claimed that Resident Evil 9 will be announced next week. It's also really important to Victor that you know that he said Sony would have a state of play on December 24th before Jeff Grubb said it, and nobody cared. And that really hurt his feelings.
Coincidentally, Victor is a real sore loser.
At EA's annual Investor Day this week, the company claimed that AI is the very core of its business. That's weird. I thought the core of the business was releasing the same game every year and gambling for children. Well, if anything, AI is a step up. EA seems to want to get into the AI game design space, showing off a video of user-generated content. Specifically, it was a big old pile of cardboard boxes. While yes, you can ask the AI to make it more epic, it's still a pile of cardboard boxes. Here's another thing I don't want EA to do. Make a social app for real and virtual sports. The company is soft launching the EA Sports app in Spain, which will feature a combination of sports content, live sports data, social messaging, and even more things. Even weirder, EA seems to want to bring video game characters outside of games and into the rest of your digital life using AI. A real example given was bringing one onto a FaceTime call with your parents. Sure, why don't I disappoint them in a new way? At least one good thing came out of the event, confirmation of a third Star Wars Jedi game, which will end the series, and then I can go back to just saying Jedi instead of Star Wars Jedi, like some sort of nerf herder. And you'd have to be some kind of nerf herder to not check out our sponsor,
Charge! Their Shargeek 170 power bank can fast charge 3 devices simultaneously from its 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port. The USB-C ports support two-way charging with a maximum of 140 watts. That means not only can you charge your Steam Deck or ROG Ally fast, but you can charge the Shargeek itself fast, from 0 to 50% in just 20 minutes. Of course, that's after you exhaust the Shargeek's beefy 24,000 milliamp hour capacity. Plus, it's got a smart display that tells you how much battery is left, input and output power, and even how long it'll take to recharge. Can you even handle all that information? Yes, you can. Check out all the cool features of the Shargeek 170 at the links below.
Oh, come on, don't make me say it. Stop. Okay, this one time. Quick bits. Allegedly leaked photos and CAD models of the Nintendo Switch 2 circulated widely yesterday, spurring much debate over their legitimacy. especially since the console depicted in the images looks a lot like the Switch 1 instead of looking like a GameCube with built-in controller buttons like everyone was hoping for. One reason to think they're fake is that they originated from a Chinese 3D printing and reverse design enthusiast. One reason to think they're real is a Weibo post saying so from the manager of a gaming accessories company. That means it's a tie, and the Switch 2 cannot pass into the material plane until it's broken. Sorry guys.
I read it in the Necronomicon. It's the rules.
Brace yourselves everybody, because we might be getting a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. That's according to Krafton CEO CH Kim, who told Game Developer that his company rushed to acquire Tango Gameworks because they wanted to scoop up as much of the doomed developer's existing talent pool as possible. Krafton apparently doesn't think that Hi-Fi Rush 2 will make much money, but bought the IP because the sequel would make fans happy. And apparently, that's a good thing?
What?
That CEOs want? Who is this guy? CH Kim, whose initials apparently stand for Chad Hunk, wants the company to spread risk over several projects rather than expect every game to make major returns, so creatives can try new things. That sweet talking Blumhouse movie, but in gaming, son of a gun. Previews of Dragon Age. The Veilguard suggests that perhaps the 10-year wait between the last entry and this one was worth it. IGN went on a multi-paragraph diatribe about the game's character customization, claiming it is better than Cyberpunk's 2077's and Dragon Dogma 2's combined. I just added the combined, but it's good. The redesigned combat is apparently fun and more intuitive to use. Each class has 2 fighting styles you can swap between, with mages being able to get in close with a dagger and magic orb.
Stab!
Eat the orb! Sean Booker of CNET even called the Veilguard his most anticipated game of 2024. I mean, that's all well and good, but it would mean more if there was more 2024 left. Final Fantasy XVI producer Naoki Yoshida asks that modders don't make or install anything offensive or inappropriate now that the game is on PC. Pretty please? Do you have any idea who you're speaking to? Do you think main character / certified daddy Clive's nips weren't out day 1? You underestimate our powers. Yoshida isn't the first Japanese developer to express dissatisfaction with PC mods, but the unfortunate fact of life is that some weird little freaks want to touch a nip. And the This Is Fine dog is getting his very own video game, finally! And that's how I learned the dog's name is actually Question Hound. Hound's creator, Casey Green, is teaming up with studio Numbskull Games to make a game called This Is Fine, Maximum Co-op. A Kickstarter for the game will launch on September 26th, the day after my birthday, and its page gives some details about what to expect. Apparently, it will be a platformer where you explore Question Hound's mind to keep depression away. And you know what? I think that's more than fine. It'd be even finer if you came back on Tuesday for more gaming news. It'd make my day, maybe even my week.
Even more if you wished him happy birthday on his birthday.
Wednesday.